Tignan mo yung light. Okay lang yung light? Oh, wait lang. Okay lang yung light? Have you ever spent time editing a selfie, fixing the light, adding a glow because it's not the way you want it to be? Well, genetic engineering does similar thing, but for DNA. Good day, I am IZ Amoroso.
I am Juan Miguel Taniegra.
I am Jodeline Barbarona.
And I'm Leia Abigail de Borja.
And let's dive in and discover all the amazing ways how genetic engineering edits DNA. Imagine a world where a form of editing can fix your body from the inside. Have you ever thought about what it would be like if we could actually rewrite, enhance, or revise our lives? Well, that's what genetic engineering in medicine is all about. Since genetic engineering is a form of work with DNA, then we will automatically think that it's somehow related to health, to our body. Think of it like giving living things a little upgrade. With it, we can fight diseases, make important medicines, and even create smarter treatments. An example that is very common for us is insulin for people with diabetes. Way back, insulin came from pigs or cows, which sometimes caused allergies. Then scientists put the human insulin gene into bacteria, and just like that, tiny bacteria started making human insulin safe, effective, and life-saving for millions of people. So next time you hear genetic engineering, don't just think of it as complicated science. Think of it as a tool that can change lives and save millions of peoples. Tiny DNA edits today could make a healthier and brighter tomorrow.
We have all experienced the frustration of half-eaten apple turning brown before we can even finish it. What if I told you that there exists an apple that resists this browning? Thanks to the innovation of genetic engineering, we now have an apple that does not brown. Arctic apple has been made available for consumers since 2017. Almost 3 decades ago, genetically modified tomato entered the consumer's market. Although it was unsuccessful, it paved the way for a more staple genetically engineered crops such as soybean and corn to enter the market. This biotechnology continues to make achievement on different part of the agriculture industry. One of the most recent innovation was a salmon that reduces its growth time by half. Genetically engineering is significantly faster than the traditional selective breeding. It targets one specific trait without the risk of carrying over the unwanted traits that is common to the conventional crossbreeding. Genetically engineering provides significant advantages including enhanced flavor, accelerated growth, increased resilience against pests, diseases, and drought. These advantages are particularly valuable to our society as they require fewer environmental resources such as water and fertilizer.
Imagine if the factories of the future didn't have smokestacks, didn't use barrel of oil and toxic sludge. Instead, imagine a factory that looks quiet, humming, and filled with life. For the last century, we've built our world using hard chemistry. We treated Earth like a warehouse of raw materials. Instead of building a world, we should grow it. And that is industrial genetic engineering. The industrial genetic engineering focuses on turning living cells like bacteria, yeast, or algae into microbial factories for the mass production of chemicals, fuels, and consumer goods. It focuses on biomanufacturing using biology as a tool to create products more sustainably and efficiently than traditional chemical factories. Our old way of making things is by extracting oil, burning it, and tossing the plastic into a dead end system. In industrial genetic engineering, it offers us a circular system. Now we can decarbonize, reuse, and innovative plastic materials. We are no longer just observers to nature. We are its architects. We are just using biology. We are partnering with it to build a future that is grown.
Do you know that bacteria in the soil can eat oil and coal? How about the beautiful sunflower to absorb metals from soil? And what if I told you that the solution to pollution is sometimes invisible to our naked eye and has been with us for decades of time? That's the work of bioremediation, one of the genetic engineering ways to conserve our environment through the use of bacteria, fungi, and plants to turn toxic messes into harmless ones. It worked by enhancing natural biological function, often stimulating microbes to consume pollutants as food. Think about an oil spill in the ocean. Instead of skimming and using sorbents, which leave residue behind, why not use these microbes to use the oil? You see, no chemicals, no expensive equipment, just working together with the planet instead of being against it. The next time we worry about these challenges, maybe the solution isn't in a lab or building new machinery. Maybe it's already under our feet, already coded into the very fabric of our natural world, waiting to be understood and enhanced through genetic engineering.